Welcome to this tutorial produced by Certisem LLC. It covers how to develop a user-defined GUI template and how to apply it to build a model in the IMPETUS Afea solver GUI. So let's look at how we can build an interface, a template for a command file. So it's simple to input parameters and build a model. In this case here, we have a parameters given in this command file. And you can also see down here at the bottom, we have commands that are not having any range or anything like that. These are not going to be in our template, but these are things that so-called hard coded. And then up here, we have parameters. And what we're looking at here, if we go to view input, is basically a simple ballistic impactor and has so it can have a variation in the angle of impact. And then we have a target plate here. And these are built simply using component commands. Go back to the editor here. You can see, which is interesting here, is that you can actually give a range. For example, this angle is 45 degrees, but this tin here refers down here to this command here, which means that it can have a variation between 0 and 45. We go in here and you can have the size, small, medium, and big. You can also include the top type, or you can include it, or you can also specify what type it should be. So that would be a sphere or a box. It's done down here with the if sentence, if else, and end if, etc. So how do we create the interface? Well, now we have this file here that works and can run in the solver. Then we go to assemble, we go to objects, and we simply just click on new template object. It should have a name. It could be Certisem simple ballistics, and we select unit system, and you can see here that it automatically will take the name that I give it here, put it into a file name, and of course I can change that and have the format of objects. And then you can make a description here. So that's about. Then we now can go down and look at commands, and these are the commands that we saw in the editor mode. I can go in here now and control the parameters. So basically what happens here is that my GUI here grabbed everything that had a parameter in the command file that I wanted to change into a template. So I can click these off here if I don't want to use it to have anything or being able to adjust any of these things. I have revisions. So if we are developing different objects or different templates here, I can have a revision number. I can include documentation. I can attach files. I can also set up a profile for who is making this. I can do restrictions, which means I can actually license my template or my object. So I can, let's say, for example, this was an object, then I could license it if it were material related. But this template, I could also say nobody else should use it unless they have a license from us. And this is a license that you as a user can generate without having going to go back to this distributor or Impetus to make a license file adjustment. Location is very important. You can see here in our object store here, we have two folders, a material folder and a template. So we'll select a template. And I can now say create object. This is the preview then. It's information that I gave. And now you can see here, I actually have created a template. Certisem templates, and it's right here. This is now my templates, and then that can be used in projects. So let's now look at how can we use this template in a simulation. So let's just start up the IMPETUS solver. We go in here, and now we're working with projects. So we'll go to a new project. And if we select the parametric template project, then we will actually search through the directories and find what we have there. And one of them will be a simplified ballistic interface. So we have a name for this project, we have the location. We have another video if you're interested in how to use the projects, and then you can watch that as well about how building with different simulations and documentation, etc. So now we say okay to this one here, and you can see now this is coming up here. This is the, if you notice here, this is the documentation, a little note we wrote in there. We'll just do run. I say okay. And now this is the interface. You can see here we have the different parameters. We can select them like we put in the range. As you saw when we built this interface, we have an angle. It's a scroll angle. That was the angle of impact. And now I can go over here, and if I click on this one, it will ask me if this should be updated because we have actually changed the command file now. I say yes, and it generates this command file, and you can see here we have changed the value. So basically I can go into this interface and I can change everything. So this is how you can make a template, generate this interface, and actually use it to build a simulation. So you can give this to a colleague or customer, and they can run these simulations very simple with these input. Now I can go up here and I can start a simulation as we normally do, and it will be running. This concludes our tutorial on developing and using a template in the IMPETUS AFE Solver GUI, and we hope that you have enjoyed watching. If you have any questions, please contact us via support@certisim.com. Have a great day.